script, Paradise Alley, for $100. That money didn't last long. The last thing he had left was his dog. He got $25. That was rock bottom. He cried, and soon after, watched a fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Webner. Webner went 15 rounds but was pounded to a pulp. It inspired Sly, and he wrote for 20 hours straight the entire Rocky movie. Tried to sell it, but nobody wanted it. Too predictable, too sappy. Sly saved those comments and read them to himself the night he won the Oscar. Sly never gave up. One day, two guys offered to buy the script for $125,000. Sly said with one condition, "I'm Rocky." No way. We need a star like Ryan O'Neal to play Rocky. Can you imagine? The same guys called him back and offered him $250,000 not to star in his own movie. Sly said no. They countered with $325,000. Sly said no. They compromised. $35,000, points in the movie, and Sly would play Rocky. Rocky has grossed over $225 million and the entire franchise over $1 billion. What's your Rocky moment, folks? What's your vision? Your unstoppable success? You were born to be a money master. The time is now to take massive action.
Let's go over to Don in Odessa, Florida. Don, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Steve. Thank you.
You bet. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm a subscriber to your service, and I just want to let you know that I sure do appreciate what you've done for me.
Wow. Thank you very, very much.
The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters. It is Terrific Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining me. I absolutely love being here with you. Hope you're having a great morning. Hope you've got a vision of success for today, for tomorrow, for your future, folks, because yesterday is gone. I want you to stay present. Want you to stay here today. Now, for all of you listening on the radio, thank you so much for doing that. You can also watch us on TigerTV. If you go to the homepage at TFNN.com, I've got it up on my screen here right now. Of course, if you're not watching TigerTV, you don't know what to do, but go to the homepage at TFNN.com. Over in the right-hand side underneath the four gray bars, you will see a little checkered area that says Get Tiger TV on your mobile device. You can do that right now. You know, you can go to your search link, if you will. You can bookmark that. And what you'll get is you'll get the live streaming video. You know, you'll see the visuals. You'll hear the audio. I'm going to teach you something. You'll be able to see our charts. They're in HD, if you will. HD Tiger TV. So check that out, folks. And as long as you're over there, go ahead, if you have not already signed up for my free webinar that I'm doing tomorrow night, 6:30 to 7:30. It's going to be a blast. And I tell you what, attendance is great. I really appreciate everything. I know that the reason that attendance continues to fill up, and we're already well above 400 folks, I imagine we're going to have 700-800 people, because there's so many folks that procrastinate, if you will, wait till the last minute to get in on something. But I really do appreciate each of you telling somebody in your life, you know, about this webinar, because this is different. This is not about the markets. This is really about growth. This is, in fact, you know, I've put in about 60 or 70 hours in this right now. And what's actually cool about it is when I take a look at what I'm trying to compact in 1 hour. I mean, in 1 hour, I'm going to be throwing a lot at you. And when we take a look at just, for example, even the guys around here have seen, you know, the work that I've put into it. And, you know, I already had like about 50 slides. Well, think about it like this, folks. You know, I got 60 minutes. And I'm going to keep it to the 60-minute time frame. I've been rehearsing it, if you will. And so there's a lot of information. I've got to figure out, you know, maybe a couple things to pull out or what to put in there. But what I realized more important, because when I started this out, it was really about being able to help people grow their business. You know, so it didn't matter whether you were the CEO, the CFO, you were the one-man, one-woman army. It didn't matter whether you were the sales manager, what department it was that you ran. You know, at first it started off about just being able to massively grow your business, because there's tools, there's techniques, but mostly there's strategies. Just like strategies that you have in life. But there are strategies that you can put in place, and I can guarantee you that what your business did last year, it will pale in comparison to what it is you can do over the next 12 months if you attend this webinar, if you utilize the techniques, the strategies that I'm going to share with you. But what I realized more was that even if you didn't own a business, that there is enough information that's contained in here. There are things that will make you think. There are things that will make you say, something to think about. But more important than that, folks, it'll open your eyes. So you don't need to. What I realized last night as I was rehearsing, as I was going through it, is you don't need to be a business owner to go to this. You're going to get so much information in 1 hour that's absolutely going to apply to you, the way that you think, the strategies, if you will. How about just simply the way that you might manage your children, the type of relationships that you have there. Folks, if you are trying to get a specific outcome, if you're trying to get some growth, and I know I'm spending a lot of time on it, but I'm jazzed up. It's just, I only had about 4 or 5 hours of sleep last night, and, probably won't have more than about 4 or 5 hours tomorrow night, because what I do is, look, folks, the way that I am right now is the way that I always am. I live with passion. I've got a bundle of energy. I don't know where it comes from. It just comes, if you will. Well, I know where it comes from. When you're doing what you want to do, folks, that's when you're absolutely, truly happy with who it is you become. That's what it's all about. That's what I want to be able to teach you. That's that Pathways to Growth, or even Pathways to Wealth, which is still up on the website. Probably you'll only be able to get that report for the next day. Maybe you'll be gone this afternoon. You'll see Get Steve Rhodes special report up there. If you haven't gotten it, do yourself a favor. Go click onto that, download that report, because that is, as growth happens, we've got some other new things that are going to be coming underneath, breaking news, if you will. So go do yourself a favor, do that. But most importantly, even if you don't own a business and you've got 60 minutes, you'll be amazed what I'll be able to teach you in 60 minutes. So enough about that stuff. We're talking about yesterday was the new moon, talking about the New England Patriots, talking about the New York Giants getting ready for Super Bowl. And, and that's going to be a great thing. What's important is, the question is, today's a new day for you. Every day is a new day, and it's what action. The intro that we have on Tuesdays is that Rocky intro. Now, it's a great story, absolutely a great story with regard to being able to stay laser focused, if you will, being able to have that tunnel vision, and being able to have that certainty, that passion within you, that you know what you want, and you're going to get it. You're going to move mountains. You're going to do whatever it is that you've got to be able to do in order to have what you want in your life. Now, it is so much easier to do it from a place of strength, especially when things are being challenged. So, what I do each and every morning, I start off my spot with this one specific angle, this one specific vision. I've got one on my computer, if you will. I've got pictures of this area with different sunlight aspects. This is Lanai, Hawaii, folks. If you ever get a chance, let me tell you, if you're looking for absolute peace and quiet, this is the place to go. They don't even have a stoplight on the island. Yeah, no stoplight. I think there's 1, 2 stop signs that you run. Well, 2 or 3 stop signs that you've got on the island. Absolutely a great place. You should check it out. It's across from Maui. So if you're ever over in Maui, you want to go take the boat. You want to take the Expeditions boat over there. Take it early in the morning so you can see that sunrise. Now, it's easy to do early in the morning because you got either a 5 or 6 hour time zone difference depending on the time of the year. So take yourself over there. But I always start my day off, in a place where I can have strength. And today's a new day for you. So what actions are you going to take in order to achieve the outcomes? Over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about outcomes that you want in your life. We've talked about the reasons why. Now you've got to start getting down to the details, if you will. You've got to start listing out all of the different actions that you could possibly take. Doesn't mean that you're going to take. And it's almost like doing a to-do list, because part of what it is I'm trying to also teach you here is really going to be to get rid of that to-do list. Those to-do lists, folks, are nothing but a lot. Not that there aren't some important elements on there, but when you take a look at your outcomes, what I want you to be able to do is those things that you want in your life and those things that, are real important to you. I want you to list, just spend a few minutes, just spend 15 minutes going and listing each of the actions that you could possibly take. Because you'll see what happens is in your so-called to-do list that you've put together, and maybe tomorrow or Thursday, probably not till Thursday or Friday, I'll be able to visually show you how to do this, because I'm spending so much time just making sure that, that tomorrow's webinar from 6:30 to 7:30 is just simply, it is perfect, if you will. And not perfect, I hate that word perfect. I've thrown that word perfect out, but I'll make sure that it's absolutely outstanding, folks. And what you'll find when you start listing out all the things that you have to do to achieve a certain outcome, in essence your little to-do list, is you can start circling the items that are similar. Because all of a sudden you're going to shrink your to-do list, which maybe had about 30 or 40 different action items that you needed to take, and you'll probably be able to chunk them. You'll be able to chunk them so that you're going to turn 3 or 4 of them are similar that will help you to attain that outcome. And it doesn't have to be business, it could be health, it could be wealth, it could be relationships, whatever it is that you want in your life. And start circling the items and, connecting the dots, if you will. Shrink that to-do list down into a action list because, folks, it is all about taking actions. That's what I love about the market, because the market is always testing us, and it is asking us what kind of action is it that we want to take. When we take a look at the markets right now, you've got the Dow futures are off maybe about 60 points or so. You got the ES Mini, that's the S&P futures contract, that's down 7 points. Right now, NASDAQ is trading off about 10. Small caps trading down about 5. You've got King Dollar, if you will. King Dollar is up 35 cents. I think King Dollar has come back into the building. We'll take a look at that. What I've got up on my screen here right now is I've got all of the futures, well, not all of the futures contracts, but the 4 futures contracts that we're interested in. And in the upper left, you're going to see the Dow futures. What you're going to see is, excuse me there, you're not going to see really a ton of movement that we've had here over the past couple of days. You can see in all of these. In the upper left, you're taking a look at the Dow futures. In the upper right, you're taking a look at the S&P futures. Down here in the lower right, you're taking a look at the Russell futures. You got the NASDAQ futures over here in the left-hand side. Now, if we just take a look at the Russell futures here, let's do that. And what you're going to see, folks, you're going to see 2 different potential patterns that are set up here inside the Russell 2000, inside the futures. Now, 790, let's see here. Let me see if I can get in here. 797, that was the number. 797 completed a small little butterfly pattern with inside this larger Gartley pattern. Now, we talk up there, it's named a butterfly pattern. It was named by Larry Pesavento and Bryce Gilmore might have, forget who was it. But anyways, Larry and a couple of folks that were working on these patterns, if you will, really was nothing more than Fibonacci expansions and contractions. And then all of a sudden, when you started taking a look at it, visually, what you could see is you could see those butterflies. That's why on Friday, I was talking, I had drinks with one of our Tigers' sons, if you will. So we had double Tigers, if you will. And what we were talking about on Friday was the importance of really, even if you're not a numbers person, it can absolutely teach you to be probably a better intuitive trader than somebody that just simply sticks to the numbers. Because what happens with, intuition, folks, is you've got to be able to take a look at these patterns that are set up, and you've got to be willing to take action. Now, I can teach you what the best types of action steps are. I do that for my clients each and every morning. Each and every morning they get up, they've got a newsletter where they can take a look at it. It goes through so many different elements. It teaches them something. They get that by 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Folks, we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakouts gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
In 1929, Joe Kennedy had $4 million. By 1932, he grew it into $180 million. All this during the Great Depression. The good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time has been spent in recession. How would you like the strategies that are bulletproof against the turmoil of our economy in these fast-changing times? For the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets used by millionaires and billionaires. These are bulletproof strategies that will absolutely astonish you. I'd love to introduce you to these concepts that will absolutely change your life. You'll learn the 3 ways to grow any business exponentially. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters with Tom O'Brien and host of the Trader's Edge, both seen daily at TFNN.com. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com, look under Breaking News, and click on the Get Steve Rhodes Special Report link, and I'll email you this free report, Pathways to Wealth.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the ES Mini still down about 7 points or so. NASDAQ down 11. And folks, we've got a place here called the Tiger's Den. It is a peer group, if you will. It's a one of the things that I've learned is each time that you are taking your life, you're finding another gear, you're taking yourself from one place to the next. What you're doing is you're moving to a higher level, if you will. And that's a good thing. And the idea there is that you can bring people along. I mean, that's what we try to do here at TFNN. And we also provide that opportunity for you. So if you're trying to take yourself to another level with regard to trading and you want to be able to get more than just what you get from these the shows that we do here, come try out the Tiger's Den. You can test drive that for 30 days. I'm not going to go ahead and read a comment that was posted by Wes in the Tiger's Den because, it's also the way that I think as well. And it's so important with regard to, look, his comment here is with regard to trading, if you will. But the reality is you can use this comment that he put in here for life, period. And that's this. What he wrote is, he said, trading's a psychological game. Well, get rid of the word trading and put life, if you will, is a psychological game. So trading or life or whatever it is that you're working on, it's a psychological game. Most people think they're playing against the market. Maybe you think you're playing against a competitor. Maybe you think you're playing against somebody else, if you will, in your life. But the reality is, and what he's got here now, I'm obviously adding a few things here, but the reality is that the market doesn't care. Your competitors don't care. Even though you think you're going ahead and you're playing against them, the reality is you're playing against yourself. And that what Wes wrote in there is really the entire. If I was going to phrase it, if you will, it's really what the web program, the webinar that I'm doing tomorrow night. It's really all about you. The ability to be able to take your game from where you're at to where you want to go. It is all about that 80% strategy, if you will. It's all about that psychological edge, which Fran Tarkenton, he now believes it's more 95% of the, what's in between the ears. So it's at 80 or it's 90%. So, I love what Wes put up there. Trading is a psychological game. Most people think they're playing against the market, but the market doesn't care. You're really playing against yourself. You have to stop trying to will things to happen in order to prove that you're right. Listen only to what the market is telling you now. Forget what you thought it was telling you 5 minutes ago. Folks, that is the way that you ought to always live your life, with a new moon coming in there and just talking about new stuff. Each day is new. When I take a look at a chart, that is exactly what I do. I leave whatever I thought, whatever my impression was, whatever my belief was, I leave it at the door. And if I'm already in the door, I just go ahead and I throw it in the trash can. It doesn't matter to me actually what chart it is I'm looking at, because there are patterns out there that are consistent. If you're watching us on Tiger TV right now, we're going to go take a look at Coach as an example. I believe they were out with earnings this morning. Their stock is, and a symbol there is COH. Coach is trading up, where did I lose it? Up $2.05 this morning, trading out right now at about 66.20 in the pre-market. Closed yesterday 64.24. So let me show you these wonderful patterns, if you will. We're just talking the ABCs. And the ABCs, folks, what you're taking a look at, it's how life works, if you will. When you get through that B point in your life, and that B point is usually, you've worked your way up here, and you know that where all the extraordinary rewards are above that area, and you're trying to find some way to punch through. Well, when you punch through, you want to make sure you've done it with conviction, with 100% of your mind, that you're willing to check the baggage at the door, and you're ready for a new frontier. In fact, you've decided not to be a prisoner of your past. Instead, you want to be a pioneer of your future. Well, if you take a look at what Coach is doing here, because there are patterns that are non-random patterns that exist in this marketplace, and we're just taking a look at a small ABC pattern with inside some larger patterns that are out there. Our A point on this for Coach is right down here if you're watching us on Tiger TV. It's the date of December the 19th, the low there, 56.72. Coach moves its way up. It does a move of the move, if you will, 100% move of the move. Into January 9th, there's 2.8 million shares, gets up to 63.64, does a retracement over 4 days, pulls back to a low of 59.74, pulls back with some volume, pulls back with 4.6 million shares. But as it comes through this B point right here, what you can see is the volume that it had 2.9 million shares. So you had 2.9 million shares going against 2.87, if you will. So it had enough volume to get up over it. The following trading session, you do 3.3. Coach is going to open up. It's going to gap up. Now, an A to B equals C to D on Coach is right at 66.66. Ooh, that sounds like a very devilish number, if you will. 66.66. All it's doing is going up against the highs back here from October 2011. ABCs, folks. So, Wes, thanks so much for sharing with us, because, folks, you can absolutely have anything you want in your life. Just check your baggage, which is in your mind, at the door. When we get back, we'll go see how these markets are going to open. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Attention business owners, managers, and entrepreneurs. Studies show that 1 in 25 businesses last 10 years, and less than 1% of all businesses generate $5 million in annual revenues. Would you like to learn the skills that separate these businesses from all of the rest? It isn't about working 10 times harder. It's about working 10 times smarter. And I can show you how. Absolutely free, no strings attached. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, past owner of businesses at Disney, Universal Studios, Vegas casinos, and top destinations throughout the world. Join me Wednesday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. for a 1-hour online webinar where I'll teach you how to get your dream clients, get past the one person that stands between you and the most influential people in the world, and show you the 3 ways to grow your business exponentially. Go to the front page of TFNN.com under Breaking News and click on Pathways to Growth, where preparation meets opportunity. That's Wednesday, January 25th. Register now for your Pathway to Growth, part of our Go Long America program on the homepage of TFNN.com. Decisions shape your destiny. Shape yours now.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in the equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in the complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com under newsletter. Hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. We got that bell. We got to get this. There we are. We're off to the races. That's what you need in life, folks. You got to have a bell to wake you up. You got the Dow down 64 right now. S&P's off 7.5. Composite down 11. Small caps down 5. NDX off 8 points. New York Stock Exchange down 59. The DAX is off 70. We're going to go around the world and take a look at the DAX. The FTSE trading off 52 points. In Asia, the only, you had markets that were open, but they had the Shanghai and the Hang Seng still closed. The Nikkei was up 19 points. We'll go take a look at that. King dollar still up only 32 ticks right now. You got light sweet crude trading out at 98.55, down $1.03. Gold is off 12.90, out at 16.65. Silver trading down 6 pennies, if you will, 32.20. Silver has been strong. Platinum down $15. And so what I've got on my screen here right now is we just take a little tour around the world. We're taking a look. Let's go take a look at the DAX. Let's see what the DAX is doing. Again, right now the DAX is trading out at 63.63. And the DAX here is dealing with the swing point. Of course, you've heard this. You've heard this till you're blue in the face, like a Smurf, if you will. October 28th is the swing point that we're looking at. The high there was 64.30. It's trading underneath that right now. It got over it just slightly yesterday. Again, that high was 64.30. Yesterday, the DAX got up to 64, closed actually at 64.36, so it just got over it. And the DAX is trying to complete an AB equals CD. Now, I don't have the volume on the DAX. The AB equals CD would take the DAX right up here in this 68.30 30 area. You can see it's trading down today, but not anything significant just yet. We'll take a look at the currencies. We'll take a tour around the currency marketplace, or we can also look at anything you'd like. You can always give me a call, 877-927-6648. Let's go look at the FTSE, see what they're doing over in the UK. It's still early there. The FTSE doesn't close for a couple of hours, and then they can go get a pint of Guinness. Ooh. You got to go over to the UK and get some Guinness, folks. Where is that FTSE? Here we go. Here's the FTSE chart on my screen, and the FTSE up over the, it's back down now. It's at October 27th area on the FTSE. The high there on the FTSE is 57.47.33. You got up above it yesterday, looked like with a little bit of conviction. And the area here that the FTSE wanted to complete in an AB equals CD was up in that 59, 55, 58 area. But maybe we've got that new moon. Maybe that new moon, that lunar aspect is starting to take hold, and we'll start to see that this pattern will not complete, and then we'll see that all that it really was a pattern of making a move going back to that October 27th area. When you take a look around Europe, you can see here, just simply look at the cascade waterfall effect that it had back in July of last year. And so you can see, you're coming into quite a bit of supply, if you will, quite a bit of sellers here. And so it looks like here, let's see where the FTSE actually closed at yesterday, where it opened this morning. So yesterday closes at 57.82.56. Did it open above that? Let's see here. Opened at 57.82.33. So it did not. So you don't have a possible bearish engulfing pattern up there. If you just take a look at the New York Stock Exchange, so we'll take a tour around the world. We're back flying into Kennedy, if you will, over from the UK, and we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange. Now, what the New York Stock Exchange did yesterday, really did it on Friday as well, is it completed an A to B equals C to D. The B point on the FTSE, it was coming across the FTSE. The New York Stock Exchange was December the 6th. Now, you can see this AB equals CD. You can see how on that C to D leg, if you will, that the real thrust was on A to B. So now you can see as it was doing the C to D move, it was more on the right side of the chart there. That was telling you that it was losing some energy, losing some strength, if you will. And what it was doing was also making a one-to-one. It was coming over here to an area of really strong resistance, if you will. You've got this evening star candle on the New York Stock Exchange. And the New York Stock Exchange, folks, it's one of those charts that you really should take a look at. Most people just kind of leave it off their chart, but it's the one that's going to give you the best breadth, if you will, of the marketplace, because you've got, let's say, a good 3,000 stocks or so that are trading in here, and you've just got a better general consensus of what's going on in the marketplace. And the question is this the signal here? Because you completed an A to B equals C to D. That would have been at the 26, 27 area. You got just above it again yesterday, but today obviously we're trading down. You got the New York Stock Exchange off 73 points right now. It does a move. Now, here's the thing. You would expect that. When you do a move, you're going to do something different. So when you take a look at the overall breadth of the marketplace right now, and something different means you're going to pull back. Now, the question is going to be, what kind of pullback do you have out here? If you don't pull back with a vengeance, and you just start staying towards the top and you go sideways, then what that's telling us is it's ready to start moving forward. But it can take a little while to build what we call cause around here, to try to build up some energy, because it is running a race. If we go take a look at, let's go back and take a look at Coach. Let's see, in fact, where it did actually open up at. We were talking about that before we went to the break. COH is the ticker symbol on that. And there you can see how it is it opened up just below the A to B equals C to D. But we talked about how, in advance, you've got information that is coming from these charts, and then I can show you. Now, in this case here, of coaches, you can see we were talking about the New York Stock Exchange, right, and how that was trading to the right-hand side of that C to D move. But when you take a look at this AB equals C to D, take a look at how it's trading on the left-hand side. That's telling you that you've got more energy out there. So, in fact, let's go ahead and expand this smaller AB equals C to D. and we're going to expand that. And if you get a coach to close today above the swing point that's out here, we'll go further back to the left, see what else it's going up against. And the swing point is October 31st. The high there, you've got 66.54. It's actually October 28th. The volume out there, 4.1 million shares. You know, we've only been open for about 11 minutes. You've done 771,000 shares. We'll see how it continues to trade, but it should have enough volume to see if it's just going to get up over it, or is this going to be just simply a move of a move. And the way that it's trading right now, because it's on the inside, it's on the left side, what it looks like Coach at least wants to do is make a 1 to 1.272, A to B equals C to D. Now that we start going back to the left, folks, and you know, this stuff I'm just doing on the fly, so it's so cool how it actually all works out, because if you understand the angle of your ABC, you especially want to be taking a look at that C to D leg to understand what kind of energy is behind it. You want to see what type of volume you've got as you're coming past those B points. In this case here, 1 to 1.272. And look, there's some of us use 1 to 1.272, some of us use 1 to 1.382. Either one is close enough, folks, and you can see the 1 to 1.272 takes you out to about 68.55. Let's just round it up to 69. Well, you come over here to Coach, and July 7th, you've got 5 million shares, the high out there of 69.20. It looks like that is where Coach COH wants to go. Now, that's got 5 million shares. You're trading inside that swing point right now, and so if you trade inside here, and you close inside here, and the low on that swing point is 66.75, it's telling you for sure that and when I say for sure, I mean 90% for sure. How's that? That what it wants to do is it wants to at least go up and tag the high, 69.20, so you can expect Coach to get to 69.21 before it releases information. Now, you get up over that, folks, you get up over that area, then where's the next spot? Well, it's the 1 to 1.618, A to B equals C to D. Now, if you have the art of timing the trade, folks, then you would know that when you do a 1 to 1.618, A to B equals C to D, that gives you an immediate trend reversal. That is a real powerful, I don't know what the percentage of the time is, but I will tell you that it is a significant percentage of the time. So that would be the next stop. That's if you can get over the swing point here from July the 7th. And then we start taking a look at expansions between different swing points. And let's see what else it is that we've got setting up over there. So let's just come back over here to this first area we were talking about, which was that October 28th. Let's go from the high there down to the low, that A point that we've got. And the A point was was where we started our mini ABCD, if you will. And the 1.272 takes you right, if you will. So there's a butterfly pattern right in that 69.21 that's being created. And let's just take a look at where's the 1.618 of that, because what happens, folks, is that the way that the beauty of these numbers and why it works, I don't know. I just know that it works. And so in this case here, what we're taking a look at on Coach, that's if it can, stay up here. If Coach gets into that 68.55, 69.21 level, if it breaks through there, then what that's telling you is it wants to go into the Gartley, the butterfly of the 1.618. That would take you up to 72.61 on this smaller one. But let's go take a look at the larger one that's out here. That's that July 7th area, and we take our retracement expansion tool, go from the high there all the way down to the low that you've got. And you can go take a look at that on August 19th. Now let's shorten this chart up, and let's see where the 1.272 is. And how about that? The 1.272, folks, up here at 75.99. So, with inside a larger, and I'll just draw it for you so you can see how this works here. Well, let me just shorten this so I can complete this, draw this for you. And we'll take a look at this. And so you can see that you've got patterns that are with inside patterns, which is really a cool thing. A cool thing for being able to trade. That is what the larger butterfly would look like. But first, it's got its work to do. It's making its way up to 68.55. Let's go take a look at the ETFs now. So we've been trading for 15 minutes. So where do we want to start first? Let's go take a look at the 5-minute charts that are out there. See what kind of volume it is that we've got inside these ETFs off the open. So we'll take a look at the Qs. As soon as this refreshes on the screen. So let's take a look at the Qs first. We take a look at the Qs, and we take a look at the top 10 holdings inside the Qs. The only one that is up is Intel and Amgen. is up. You've got Intel trading up 9 cents right now. Amgen trading up 29. You've got Apple trading down $2.70. And today, it's all about applesauce, if you will, right? Because you got Apple is going to be coming out with their earnings. In fact, we'll go take a look at the Apple chart, see if there's any information ahead of the earnings release that it's telling us. I haven't looked at the Apple chart to see that, but you got Apple trading down $2.50. You got Microsoft down 30 cents. Not a big deal there. You got Google only down 52 cents right now. Oracle trading down 7. Cisco down 19, Qualcomm down 45, Amazon down 78. And we can see here at the open, when we take a look at the Qs here, that's what we've got up on my screen. So it came down at the open. The volume, you came down actually, when you first came down at 930 to 935, you did it with 723,000 shares. You then loaded up, not me, not you necessarily, but the market loaded up, did 2.3 million shares. It was coming against this hammer candle. In fact, let me get rid of the... let me just go ahead and get rid of, I didn't notice that out there. Now, look, folks, this is a 5-minute chart, if you will. And so, but if you were trading intraday, if you were day trading, if you will, you want to be able to understand your candles, just as you do whether you're a long-term investor, because candles give you a ton of information. What happened down here, this is a hammer candle here on the 5-minute chart. It's at 12:10 in the afternoon, January 23rd. That was yesterday. And that hammer candle can only occur at the bottom of a move. Now, what you see out here is you can see this long wick. Let me get that red cursor line out of there. You can see the long wick of that candle. That means that price was pushed all the way down there. But in a 5-minute time frame, what happened is the market went ahead and pushed its way up. The bulls decided to take control because this is nothing more than bulls and bears. You're going to a bullfight, folks. You know, with the exception of taking that sword and sticking it through, the bull's head. Now, what else do you have out here that you can see? So that hammer candle was your first indication that the move to the downside was over. In fact, what it did was it set up a resistance area, which was at the bottom of that hammer candle. So you can see the next trading session, the Qs move a little bit lower. But what do you have right here, folks? What do you have in that candle at 12:20? Look at it on your charts. Because now what you have is you have a hammer candle, which is telling you the bulls want to take control. And on this next chart, you now have a bullish engulfing. And that's where, and those can only happen at the bottom of a chart. And that's where at least it's got to open up underneath the bottom of the preceding candle. That's the candle from 12:15. That candle, when it opened at a price of $59.92. Closed at 50. That's where it closed in this case here. 59.48 is where it closed at. Where do we open on the next candle? You open at 59.47. So one tick below that. That's all that you need. And where it closed at 59.53. And what you can see is, let me just blow this up. Maybe you can see it a little bit easier. You can see how it engulfed the body. It also looks like it engulfed the hammer. The hammer candle closed at 59.52. This closed at 59.53. So you had a hammer candle that then got engulfed, if you will, by a bullish engulfing. Folks, that was sending you a signal, if you were day trading, that you need to be very careful because the move to the downside, that was where, if we were taking a look at West, where you're trading against yourself, not against the market, here is where you would have gone and you would have rung the register. You would have taken something off the table, or what you would have done is you could have created a little bit tighter stop, let the market take you out of the trade. And folks, so we'll come back, we'll take a look at the markets, but very cool. You can also see how this hammer candle this morning here has acted as resistance, just as it's supposed to do. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing. But what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while actually reducing your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns, making missed opportunities a thing of the past. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider, David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry, or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Got the Dow trading off 82 points. S&P is down 8. And looks like we've got a Guinness drinker in the den. Stacy. Stacy is saying that you can only get a good Guinness over in Dublin. Says it doesn't travel well. Now, there are some pubs over in the UK. I know because I've done a pub crawl over there. And you can get some pretty good Guinness. But, if you get a chance, go over to Ireland. Folks, that's what I learned when I started drinking beer. When I acquired my taste for beer, it was drinking Guinness, if you will. Real dark stout beers. And the way that we drank them, they were at room temperature. Ooh, I love a good dark beer. Now, let's start. It's only 9:55, and we're talking beer. I guess you can talk beer anytime you want. Now, what I wanted to show you here is I've still got the 5-minute Q chart up, and when we're doing the shows in the morning, it's great to be able to utilize intraday time frames, in order to be able to show you what's going on, because the way that these candle patterns work, or the way that these Fibonacci expansions and contractions work, they work in all different time frames. So it's a great way to be able to teach. Now, the hammer candle, one of my favorite candles that are out there, because where you've got a line drawn in the sand. That doesn't mean that, it's always good that it's going to be support, but where your probabilities are. And that's what I look for when I'm trading, is just make sure I've got a probability edge, where I can make sure that I've got the right reward to risk. And so understanding candles is important. So when we take a look at hammer candles, I want to show you a candle that's out here that sometimes people might have thought was a hammer. This is this candle right here where I've got my cursor. If you're taking a look at an intraday chart, it's at 9:35 on January the 18th. Now, it looks like a hammer candle. It acts like a hammer candle, but it is not a hammer candle. A hammer candle, folks, can only happen at the bottom of a downtrend. In this case here, the market was already moving up. Sure, what this does communicate to you is this at least communicates to you that the bulls were in control. But this area here doesn't act as a resistance point at all. It doesn't mean anything as the market were coming into it. Unlike the hammer candle, and I'm going to move back over here, unlike the hammer candle that we were taking a look at right in here that took place yesterday at the 12:10 time frame, and right now that is acting as resistance. You break through that and you close below that, and I can promise you what you will see is you will see lower prices. Now, what you ought to expect here, because of the volume that came out of the market, if you will, or went into the market, however you're looking at it, during that 9:40 session, what you can see is you had 2.3 million shares, 2.9. Let me wipe these glasses here. Okay, it looks like I still can't see it. It looks like 2.9 million shares in that 10-minute time frame. Now, that was going against, this was a swing point, so it's a hammer candle, it's a swing point, but that's going against 679,000 shares. So expect the low of this area here to be tested. If you're bullish, what you want to see is you'd love to see during a 5-minute session, you'd like to see it get below that candle from 940. Below would mean you'd want to see it get to 59.40, since the low of that session, that trading session there, was 59.41. Do it on less than 2.9 or 2.2. I can't believe how that's coming together. That's pretty wild. And can't make out the 9. It looks like 2.3. So you want to see it, you want to see it do it on 1 million shares, okay? At least half of the volume, if you will. And that's what you'd want to see from a bullish standpoint if you were trading intraday. So let's see, we're going to be heading out. The time just absolutely flies here, folks, but you can stay tuned, because coming up next is the Money Masters show. Then after that today, we got Kate Stalter from 11 to 12, Think or Swim with the Options Hour, Ken Shreve, 3 to 4, Tom O'Brien from 4 to 6. Love being here with you, folks. Have a great morning and live with gratitude. Take care.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa, with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed, with production anticipated to be over 250